Hello, welcome to my channel. I am All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be giving my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE Raw, 10th of October 2016. We start the show with Sasha Banks coming out. She says she feels like she's on top of the world right now. I had big dreams growing up watching my hero, Eddie Guerrero. She wishes Eddie Guerrero a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Eddie. We really wish you were still with us. The WWE would be so much better if you were. Then she said she watched Trish Stratus and Lita tear it up in the main event. She wanted to be just like them. Her dreams came true last week, and she stole the show to become the two-time women's champion. But she said it's not just about me, it's about the women that came before me and the ones that are still to come. The little girls at home that want to be just like me. She says, I want my match at Hell in a Cell to be in a Hell in a Cell against Charlotte. Charlotte comes out, and then she's cut off down the ramp by Lana and Rusev coming out. They overtake her, and she stands on the ramp while they get in the ring. Rusev takes the mic and says, nobody cares about your stupid women's revolution or the fact that you main evented Raw last week. I am the main event. Charlotte comes in the ring at this point, snatches the mic off him, and then she says, who the hell are you? No one disrespects the Queen, and he just screams, I am Rusev! Charlotte does accept the challenge. Rusev takes his mic back, and he says, this is my ring. Whatever I say goes. Sasha smacks his mic out of his hand. Lana gets in between. She calls them lost women that need to know their place, that are whining like little girls. They knock her down. Rusev gets upset, and they drop kick him out to the floor, I think. Rusev then gets back on the apron to enter the ring, and Roman Reigns comes out. They look like they're going to fight, but Lana and Rusev leave. Then we had the New Day come out. They cut the usual promo, said they're going to show Sheamus and Cesaro why they are the best at Hell in a Cell. Then we had a singles match, Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston. The finish happened when Sheamus took out Woods, Big E clotheslined Sheamus. Kofi reversed the swing into a roll-up on Cesaro. Then we had Bayley versus Cammy Fields, a local talent. Bayley won with belly to belly. I do like how they're making her look strong with this. And then Dana attacks Bayley from behind while she's celebrating on the stage. JBL rightly pointed out in this, though, that even though Bayley attacked Dana last week and she's getting revenge, Dana started the whole altercation, so it's really Dana's fault about what's going on. Then we had a backstage segment with Chris Jericho on the phone to somebody saying, I'm good, you should be getting me that big payday. R-Truth appears with a payday chocolate bar, and Jericho's like, that's not the kind of payday I'm looking for, you stupid idiot. He went, my bad. Kind of funny. I like the R-Truth skits, I just don't like him wrestling or rapping. Then we had a Cruiserweight division match, Tony Nese and Drew Gulak versus Lynch Dorado and Sin Cara. Nice to see Sin Cara getting into it now, because I was expecting him to be in it anyway. Lynch with the shooting star press pinned Gulak. Nice to see that team getting a nice win. I'm liking the Cruiserweight division at the minute. It's not as flippy as it was on the Cruiserweight Classic, but what do you expect? Then we had Foley backstage, and Stephanie McMahon says, is that a custom flannel suit? That looks nice. To be fair, it did look nice. I want to join you for the Hell in a Cell address out in the ring. And she went, yeah, that's good. Let's do it. Then them two come out. Stephanie says No Mercy was good, but Hell in a Cell will be better. I'm hoping, because looking at the match card, it will be. Foley says the women don't get what they want, and the fans start booing. He went, they get what they deserve. You're going to have them in a Hell in a Cell match. I've also made one more, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. That's make 3 in that night. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho come out. Owens doesn't want to be in the Hell Cell because he doesn't want to end up like a broken, washed up GM like Mick Foley. Jericho's like, why are you giving him a rematch just because he asked for it? Owens like, he doesn't deserve another shot at my title. And Jericho's like, you've not liked me for 19 years, now you're taking it out on Kevin Owens. And then he's like, put him on the list, and Jericho's like, I'm on the list. He's like, I'm putting you on the list again. He's like, so To say I didn't like you for 19 years is unfair. I helped you get a job in ECW. I showed you to Paul Heyman. I did like you in the start. But he never actually followed up with any more than that. And then Jericho's like, take care of Foley, please. And she's like, you should show some respect to Mick Foley. I don't care about any list. And Jericho's like, you're not on the list. And he's like, good, I shouldn't be on the list. And then Stephanie goes to propose that if Chris Jericho can win tonight, it'll make it a triple threat Hell in a Cell match. And she's like, the universe will like that, you'll like that, and Seth will like that. Mick makes it official, and then Stephanie says to both of them, have a nice day. Then we had Seth Rollins' reactions backstage with a new announcer, Charlie. He says, I'm going to be the man to destroy the machine piece by piece. And then he says, welcome to Raw, and walks off. Then we had Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass. It shows a Raw pre-show match where Curtis Axel actually asked Mick Foley for the match. Says put them in a match. To be fair, I do like the pairing. They are great people. Enzo Amore and Big Cass are doing their usual promo stuff, and they get attacked by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Enzo gets a boot of doom, and Big Cass gets a magic killer. Axel gets a mic and says, are we on an episode of Swerves or something? We were promised a tag team match, and we're not leaving until we get one. Foley, send us some opponents, and then Neville and Sami Zayn come down. It looks like they're actually going to stick with this tag team. Great. Axel suffers Helluva Kick and Red Arrow to get the loss. Bo Dallas watched the entire time on the apron of this happening, and then he just glares at him, grabs his Bo leave in Bo side, and then just leaves. That's a bit harsh, Bo, to be fair. What did he do to get deserved that? Then we had a Lana and Charlotte backstage segment. Lana said, you had no right to put your hands on me earlier. I'm not the jealous type, but remember, you're only Rusev's partner for tonight. I am Rusev's partner for life. If you stay out of my Rusev's way, or else there'll be serious consequences. Then we had Titus O'Neil versus R-Truth. I only have one noise to describe this. Goldust gets on top of the steel steps. Truth takes advantage of the distraction and rolls up Titus. Moving on. Then we had a TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick backstage segment. Perkins walks in. Kendrick sitting down on the seats. Perkins says, I know the real Kendrick. He's not a bad guy. Are you scared that you won't make it in this run? You didn't need to beat me with a cheap shot last week. I would have given you another shot because of who you are, or at least who you were. When I was too young to drive to my matches, you picked me up. When my N64 broke, you loaned me yours. It's not too late to become the Brian Kendrick again. They shook hands. Kendrick rose and tried to give him a cheap shot. Perkins blocked and knocked him on the floor, and Perkins walks out and says, I guess I was wrong. I was slightly disappointed by this, because I like the Brian Kendrick. I really wanted to see them make amends, and to be honest, they look like they'd be an amazing tag team. Seriously, I like it. Then we had Braun Strowman versus Steven and Clay Splash. They're saying from Oakland, their mum told us to go out and make a splash. They're jumping into the deep end and taking Braun with them. Clay got a reverse chokeslam onto Steven, and then Braun pinned them both. And then Strowman says, that wasn't good enough, Foley. I don't care if you tend out 20 guys like this. I'll end up leaving them body by body. You give me some real competition next week, or else what happens will be on your head. That'd be kind of cool. Then we had a backstage segment with Sasha and Reigns. She says, I know what I'm getting myself into in this Hell in a Cell match. You just need to take care of Rusev tonight. I've got Charlotte. Then we had their match. Charlotte got put into the bank statement by Sasha Banks. Roman spears Rusev, stopping him from breaking it up, and Charlotte taps out. Then we had a Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho backstage segment. Tom Phillips walks in. Owens is like, I have a sense someone's going to ask me a stupid question. And then he asks about the potential match. And then Owens says, regardless of whether Jericho's in the match, I'll be walking out of champion. And then Jericho says, if one of us is champion, we're both champion. And then Phillips asks a question, why didn't you come to the Ode of Jericho last week? And then he says, there's the stupid question. In a team, sometimes sacrifices have to be made to keep one of the stronger people better. And then they told Phillips to leave, and then he's like, he didn't leave quick enough, and Jericho added him to the list. And then Phillips looked at it and says, Filippo Morenti. And he's like, get out. That wasn't even close to his name. Then we had Paul Heyman come to the ring to give a promo regarding Goldberg's comments. He showed a preview of WWE 2K17 showing Lesnar tossing Goldberg around. Heyman says, for 12 years, everyone's asked the same question. What if just one more spear? What if just one more jackhammer? What if for one more night we could experience Goldberg? Every time a stud debuts, you hear them chant Goldberg, and then fans start chanting it. Every person whose face Goldberg was beaten was conquered. And you say to yourself, Goldberg career parallel to Lesnar's. What keeps me up at night is that Goldberg's 1-0 against Lesnar. He's got that 1-up. And then Heyman says, I've been authorized to challenge Beast versus Myth, Lesnar versus Goldberg, Icon versus Icon. And we want to see you step in the ring, be beaten, victimized, and conquered by Brock Lesnar, because in Suplex City, you aren't Goldberg, you're next. And we did get confirmed that Goldberg's coming live to Raw next week to answer the challenge of Paul Heyman, which basically means it's going to happen because you can't step foot in the ring if you're not under contract. Then we had TJ Perkins versus Ayat Davari, the younger brother of Davari. Either way, he tapped out to the knee bar. And then we had a backstage segment with Stephanie and Chris Jericho. Jericho mentioned that for 17 years they've never had a problem with each other. Jericho did confess that earlier tonight, I got upset and put your name, Steph, on the list. I do apologise and I have removed it from the list. She says a win for Jericho tonight is a win for Raw, that as in the triple threat at Hell in a Cell will blow away SmackDown's triple threat and No Mercy. Stephanie wishes Jericho luck and said, if you do make it to the Hell in a Cell main event, you'll know what to do. Jericho then got a devious smile on his face. Jericho walks up and says, what was that about? And then Jericho just says, friendship, and walks off. Then we had Jericho versus Seth. Jericho went for the walls, but Rollins turned it into a small package for the win. After that, Owens jumps in and tries to blindside Rollins. Rollins turns the tables, went for a pedigree. Jericho saves Owens. Owens bails. Rollins hits Jericho with a pedigree, and Owens didn't attempt to save him. Same old stuff. Anyway, this was an overall good episode of Raw, to be fair. I enjoyed it. It's moving the feuds along nicely. Not much more I can say. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later.